Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty and today I have the Counterfeit Kit build for you. Now normally I build 2 kits a month, but I'm only building 1 kit this month and that is going to lead me into some news that I have. So stick with me to the end of the video and I will tell you what my news is about my schedule this month. So if we look at the Counterfeit Kit Challenge blog, we will get our monthly inspiration. So Counterfeit Kit Challenge chooses a kit that exists somewhere in the world and we can use it to build our own kit. Now you might want to do that for various reasons. Maybe you are on a spending freeze, perhaps you already have enough supplies around. Whatever your reason is, this is a great way to go about building a kit. So this month, the inspiration comes from close to my heart, and this kit is very much a kind of vintage retro food and kitchen theme. So if we take a look at all the pieces and elements in this kit, we've got some wood veneer, lots of pattern paper, we've got plaids, we've got florals, definitely pops of red and yellow and blue and aqua. There's a stamp set that's based on food with matching dies. We've got some big bold florals as well as some smaller florals. We've got some cut apart sheets. So all of these inspiration elements go into my thinking when I build my own kit. Oh, and there's also some journaling cards, and I know I have a supply that is very much like this, so I will definitely include that. So let's go ahead and head to my stash, and I will show you my thinking process when I put together a kit. So the first thing I do is pull way too many things. So this is a little bit of a hot mess. And when I've got a hot mess going on, what I will do is kind of break it down into categories. So I set aside all the embellishments first, and then I stack up my pattern papers, and I've already kind of pre-categorized them into colors, moods, things like that. Now here is that collection that I said I already had some of. This is from Simple Stories, and it's their recipe collection. And I had gotten that from a recent class that I took, so I want to use up those leftover pieces. And then I went to my themed files and I pulled out some food themed stuff. I have a lot of coffee themed stuff, but I know I'm not going to go with a heavy coffee direction. So the papers I put off to the left are things that I'm not going to use, or they're maybes. The papers I put off to the right are things that I'm probably going to use, and then way off screen I set off papers that I know are just wrong for this kit. And then I narrow it down. So here you see I have a whole bunch of black selection chosen, and I chose it because of that gingham print, and also because of that kind of chicken wire print. That is from a Simple Stories collection that I recently purchased, and I really like that collection, and I thought it would be great in this kit. It's kind of a farmhouse collection. So that is some of the things I think about when I am going through this stuff. Now the pinks I pulled because it was also part of that farmhouse collection, but it just wasn't working, so I got rid of all the pinks. Now these yellows, I liked all of the yellows here. It took me a while to find the yellow papers in my stash, but it all showed up. Now I pulled out a selection of kind of minty greens, and I set all the mint aside, and I had one paper left that was kind of in that teal category. But here are my collection of florals. They have a little more teal in there, which I was hoping for, and the back sides of some of them have some teal. And then I've got some wood grains, because wood grains goes great with the vintage retro kitchen theme. And so that does it for my selection of pattern papers. And here I am going through the embellishments. So I start with some of these paper embellishments, so these cut apart sheets. And from that coffee collection, I am going to choose only a few pieces because, like I said, I don't want it to be overwhelmingly coffee. But luckily there are some floral elements in there as well as some multicolor elements in there, so that will work fine. So those are the cut aparts, and here is a kind of Scrabble inspired alpha set that I purchased along with that Simple Stories vintage collection, so that works. Now I had a huge pile of ribbons and I set aside all the colors that aren't going to work. Like I eliminated the minty colors from the kit, so out go the minty ribbons. And I end up keeping some lace and some kind of pom-pom ribbon. Those seemed really fun to me. And then I move on to these other elements. So I have plenty of coffee elements and I narrow it down to just a few because, like I said, again, I don't want it to be too coffee. I do have this kitchen stamp and die set that I'm going to use and a few other food embellishments. Now, going through die cut pieces and stickers, I decided to keep this sticker coffee set because it is flexible enough. I have die cut set from Simple Stories. I have the Hambly screen print frames back there, and I'm going to cut those apart and use them as embellishment items. And then I have some of these fun and funky, like, they're not sequins, but they're like food sprinkles, so I'm going to use those. So that finishes off my kit for this month, except for I think I have some cupcake elements hiding somewhere. So if I find those, I'll throw those in there as well. Now, as for my news, I am actually going to be posting a video every weekday this month. Fingers crossed that I can get it done. And that's because I am participating in what's called the Load Challenge, and that stands for Layout a Day. And I will have links to information on that challenge. It is a class that you take, and the registration for this particular load is closed. However, I want to show you what we do, because in the summer we will have a 1-week session of this. And so if this intrigues you, but you're not ready for a full month of scrapping every day, you can keep that in mind to sign up for the summer session. So I will be back later today with my first video for the daily layout process video for Load. I do hope you join me then, and every weekday this month for the rest of my layout process videos. And that's actually going to override my typical schedule, so I will be back in June with all of my normally programmed items. I'll see you next time.